Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're doing From Dusk Till Dawn review. It's my fifth review in my long ass series of reviews.
Of the words, low profile.
Sure. Two of America's most dangerous criminals have taken hostages.
What is this? It's called a punch. I'm going to ask you one question, and all I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Well, let's get on to the things that I actually like about this movie. I really like the first half. The half about Seth and Richie, not the whole vampire stuff. But the first half I think is actually stronger. It shows these guys as psychopaths and people not to fuck with. Their first scene they're in, they have two girls, like, guns next to their head, and they're, like, basically have guns to the liquor store owner's head, too, and with a cop inside. Then right after that, they get into a shootout with the cop by Richie Gecko shooting him in the back of the head because he's talking to the clerk. And he's like, oh, he whispered, help me. This just shows that Richie's a fucked up individual. Seth is also fucked up because he essentially kills the guy because he shoots his brother in the hand. They get into a gun battle, and it ends with them blowing the liquor store up after killing the clerk by throwing basically a Molotov at him. And it is violent, it is amazing, and then they go to the motel and they meet, I forget the family's name, but they meet this family. It's a girl, a kid, a boy, and it's their dad. And they're like on a vacation kind of thing, and like they're also like the other main characters in the movie along with the Gecko brothers. And like they get held hostage by both these brothers. And it's kind of fucked if you think about it, like just a family going on vacation and then they're being held hostage, being forced to drive across the border to Mexico. It's so entertaining, especially the scene when they're at the border crossing. You think they might actually get caught trying to cross the border into Mexico because they are wanted in all of Texas, I'm pretty sure. And it's this suspense-driven scene, and it ends with just comedy, and it's a great sequence in this just amazing movie. Next, then we go to the titty twister. And the titty twister is one of the most fucked up bars I've ever seen in a movie. Like, there's vampires and shit. Like, the vampires are running the place, and it's not even a bar at all. It's really just a place for vampires to kill people, and that's really fucked. So essentially what they do is they trap truckers and bikers there, and then they kill them. And the sequence leading up to that is a beautiful dance. But the vampire scenes are amazing.
Going on here?
I know what's going on. We got a bunch of fucking vampires out there trying to get in here and suck our fucking blood. And that's it, plain and simple. And I don't want to hear anything about I don't believe in vampires. Because I don't fucking believe in vampires. What I believe in my own two eyes, and what I saw is fucking vampires. Now, do we all agree that what we are dealing with is vampires?
So, the vampire fight scenes are actually really well done. The gore effects. The funny thing is, none of the vampires' gore is red. And I think Quentin Tarantino said the reason why the movie is so bloody and how they got all away with it was by changing the blood and the gore from red to green. So, that was a good call because the green blood actually looks good and it fits the tone because of this whacked out fucking grindhouse horror film. I think the green blood actually looks cool. The movie has a very, very almost a dark humor tone towards it. So, enough with my whole positives. So, now down to some of my negatives are just some of the slower sequences. And that's about it. The movie actually isn't bad at all. You will hear reviews, some of them saying that the movie is horrendous. It is not. It is definitely one of the better horror movies I've seen. And one of my only problems with this, there is kind of no conclusion to the story. It's like George Clooney's character, Seth Gecko, gets away, and the girl played by Julie Lewis, she just goes back to the U.S. So that's all we pretty much know. I think it's very cool to let this go off like that because it makes sense of what was going to happen anyway if they never went there. It was just going to be Seth and Richie go off to their safe haven after the whole shit in the U.S. And the family was just going to go back to the U.S. anyway. So it was just going to end. It ended like the way it was going to, either way. The whole vampire pit, the funny thing was it was treated as a normal situation. Especially the way George Clooney betrays Seth Gecko. He just treats it like it's not nothing. It's just another fucking day. And it's hilarious. Especially in that scene. Just showed you that he doesn't care. He doesn't seem to give a shit that this vampire attack.
Biker, and vampires aren't gonna have to suck your blood. They'll be able to lick it up off the floor.
He's not your brother anymore.
That's a matter of opinion, and I don't give a fuck about yours.
Don't be a fool! He'll kill us all!
Shut up!
Shut up!
Let's go. Move. Hold him down.
Richie, here is the peace in death that I could not give you in life.
Well, that is my From Dusk Till Dawn review. And as I got to say, if you haven't seen this movie, I definitely do recommend to go check it out. I have to honestly give it, it's easily a 5 out of 5 stars. Trust me, if you're not a big fan of over-the-topness in your movies, you won't like this movie. You will like the first half, but you will not like the second half. And I fully enjoyed both out of it. I never just had a moment of just boringness in this movie. It is actually full throttle from beginning all the way to end, and that's what's so amazing about it. So, thanks for watching.